Hi everyone in English 1301, it's Dr. E and I'm here to kind of go over some of the more useful parts of our class syllabus. So I am just going to assume that when you have some time, you're going to go through and read all of this information. It's a lot, so I'm not going to read it to you. How boring is that? I'm just going to hit on those points that oftentimes students ask about or some things that I think will be really helpful for you. This is posted in D2L. You can download it as a document to keep, on hand when you need it, which I would recommend because it has links to tutoring, to the library, to any of these kinds of things that may be helpful. So again, useful document, but it is for you. This is a document that is supposed to help you when you need it. So let's jump right to it. So this is what the document looks like, and there is a table of contents. So if you need to really quickly find, student support services, you can click there and find, tutoring and learning centers, or, you have the Lone Star College policies. But that's to make it easy instead of having to scroll all the way down or to struggle to find it. I'm just kind of giving you a glimpse of what the document looks like and what kind of information you can find in it, right? Try not to scroll too quickly and make you nauseous. All right. So additionally, after, the table of contents, it's my contact information. So I am Dr. E. My last name doesn't look like it doesn't sound like it looks. It's Raft, but Dr. E has always been easiest. And I put my email address here and said, email me via D2L. I only put that there so that it's in your mind. Do not email me from your personal email addresses because those go to the Lone Star College system firewall and they get stuck there if they arrive at all. So if you email me from your student email, which is my.lonestar.edu, yes, or your D2L email, they will come directly to me and I can respond to you there. So that's just the easiest and most effective way, right, to get in touch with me. I don't have an office because we are an online college, but if you are in town and would like to meet at some point, we have some space at the University Park campus, the one that's on 249, and we can set up a time to do that. I'd be happy to. I do have a general office phone number, and that I have to admit, it goes to my computer, my work computer, which I don't always use because it's an HP and I know how to use Macs, right? So I'm waiting to see if I can get a different computer. But one other way to reach me is through this Google Voice number. I'll answer it during these office hours, which are Monday through Wednesday, 2 to 3:30 p.m. And that's via WebEx, which I'll go over at different time, different video, don't get overwhelmed. And then Thursday from 12 to 1, I thought it might be nice to have an instant message kind of session, and that's through D2L. I'll go through it again, different video. And then I put, if these hours don't work for you, if the consensus is these just aren't, functional when it comes to your work schedule or your schedule with your other responsibilities, I can change those, but you are always free to email me and we can set up a totally different time. That's great. If you need to get in touch with anybody that is above my level, my boss is Dr. Laura McMillian, and her email address is here. The course information, which you know, and there are important course dates here if you wanted to kind of get a look at those. The course overview is pretty straightforward. We have these goals related to writing that we want to work towards, the catalog description, all of that good stuff, as well as the technology requirements. This is just a really good section to just revisit because you want to make sure that you are feeling a sense of comfort with the technology that's required for an online course. Okay, so it goes through the digital literacy expectations, meaning these are the things you should be comfortable doing, and if you are not, now may not be the best time to take an online course, right? It may be something that you work on those tech skills and get ready for an online course in the spring, because there are some requirements, whether in this class or others. All right, this is again a good document to download because you'll have the links to D2L, to any of these kinds of things, to VLAC, which I talked about in that quick start video I emailed you. Course materials, this is a good one. All of this information is in D2L as well, but to get to our course text, this is where you go. You can set up very quickly and easily a an account to get access to the book. This is what our book looks like in digital format. You just click and it expands. I'm going to go over this in a different video. I don't want to overwhelm you just yet. So if we go back to our syllabus document, it gets to grades, and I put a note here. Every assignment with an asterisk is going to have some sort of additional document or video or something that explains that assignment. I'm really just not a fan of dropping an assignment and saying, okay, just do it. I don't think that's fair at all. You should have the opportunity to understand what my expectations are, ask me questions, and a video just kind of walks you through all of that information. So expect more to come, okay? Don't look at this and be overwhelmed, because it can look like a lot. So we're on a point system. It's just easier to calculate. I have some strange numbers. Usually it's 50, 20, 25, but 47, 28. It'll make sense when we start getting into the work. So a majority, or a big portion of your grade is discussion and participation. So participation in group work is key. You'll have a video and a handout about group work. We'll do some mind maps, which is kind of a more interesting way to collect our ideas rather than just writing paragraphs and paragraphs. You'll get a handout. There's a video. It's okay. There will be a paper portfolio, and that is going to be a collection of some of our written responses, which will come in a number of weeks. You're going to compile those and resubmit them as a portfolio. And then there's a multimedia project. So instead of ending our semester with a final exam or a final paper, that's fine. If you have classes that do that, that's fine. That's not us. We're going to have a project that asks you to look back over the course of our semester and think of what inspired you or what interested you or what was new information. Any of that, you're going to take it and turn it into something that's a bit more creative, which students really love ending the semester this way, and I definitely do as well. So I'm not going to drop all the videos and all the handouts for these assignments in the first week. That's just too much. I mean, already this document is too much in a lot of ways. But before those assignments are due, I will then have the video and the handout related to the assignment. So the portfolio, I'm not going to put that information on D2L just yet. A couple of weeks before it's due, that's when I will place, the video and everything there. So it's just too overwhelming to have it all at once. If you're a more visual person, here's the breakdown of our grades. And below is just kind of a brief explanation about those different kinds of assignments, right? So just a little bit, knowing full well that there will be a video and a handout for most of these things coming at you in a bit. And so if you scroll down there, these are policies that a lot of times students' first question is based on attendance, right? For an online course, attendance is a little bit different. I really try to stress the reality that the students who are successful in my classes and most online classes are those students who are regularly logging in, regularly going through D2L. They're getting comfortable with their different courses and how they're structured. So your presence online is going to be key in terms of your success, because you're just going to feel more confident and comfortable. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for you to, stay engaged every week, submit those assignments. We have weekly assignments. The problem comes when a whole week goes by, you haven't submitted anything. That's a concern to me. And then when we get into 2 consecutive weeks of you not submitting any work, my assumption is something is going on in your life that is leading to this absence, right? Something is taking you away from your class because it is a family emergency, it is a personal emergency, there's a situation that you're having trouble dealing with. My assumption is that the best course is going to be to drop you, and that's not a punishment. The drop is so that you don't end up with an F in the class. So stay in touch. Always let me know if you're experiencing something, and I'll try to connect you to services that may be helpful. Your attendance is just based on you doing the work, right? All right, so more information here if you scroll down. There is going to be, in terms of communication, we have a Q&A discussion post area in D2L, and that's where you can post questions, you can answer other people's questions. I will jump in there, of course. If you do have individual questions or concerns, you can email me via D2L, but know that it may take me some time to respond. I put there that, it can take up to 48 hours. I don't want to let it go that long, but there will be times when I'm just not able to answer. Lots of students on top of, some of the other kinds of work things. So I will try to get to you as soon as possible. And over the weekends, I check email less frequently. So just kind of know ahead of time that there is that expectation about turnaround when it comes to email. All right. I put here that if you want to communicate with your colleagues, there is a student-only chat area in the discussion board, and I never check that. So that is if you want to start a group chat, or if you just want to share some information there or ask questions, you are definitely free to do that. Late work, that's another another question. So I don't accept late work per se, but I know that things happen. So if something is due, you will have a 24-hour grace period to submit the work. So if we have an assignment that's due at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, you will have until 11:59 p.m. on Friday to submit the work. It comes with a grade reduction, but it's so much better than a 0. It's so much better than just having a single due date and that's absolutely it. So I would encourage you not to necessarily take that 24 hours unless you really need it, right? Don't get in the habit of using that, because then it comes with that grade reduction. But I always stress, turn in something, right? Even if your work doesn't fully meet the requirements or expectations, you didn't have enough time to fully finish it, that kind of thing, submit something. Something is better than a 0, always, always. And I won't hold that against you. Some people are very apologetic or think that I'll judge you based on you submitting something that's incomplete or not quite finished. No, right? You did something. All right. For student interaction, y'all, we have to be as respectful as possible. We may have complicated conversations in the discussion area. We're a diverse community. We don't see each other, right? So you don't pick up on one another's visual cues, the tone of voice, any of that, like we would in a face-to-face class. So we have to just be extra careful and extra mindful when we're responding to one another, because what you type may come across as very sassy or very rude or very critical. So just, especially in a writing class, we're all feeling a little bit vulnerable about putting our writing out there and getting feedback about it. Judgment-free zone, right? So make sure that your tone is reflecting that you are not judging, right? All right. There's a lot of, additional information that you can take some time to look through. One important one, of course, is plagiarism. This is a link that, again, bookmark. This is the Purdue Online Writing Lab website, and it is phenomenal. It is the only reason, if it ever opens, that I don't have an additional MLA specific book required for our course, because it's all here. If you click on MLA, has all the details you need about what to do for MLA guidelines and expectations. And there's also the section on plagiarism, which it's your responsibility to understand plagiarism, but if you have questions, you reach out to me, because I definitely don't want you to have any concerns or accidentally plagiarize, that kind of thing. All right, so if we go back to the document and scroll down, here's all the information for student services. If you need the library, if you are looking for some tutoring, we have all of that. We have our disability services, which they're wonderful. Any of these things are available to you, and they're just a click away. You can find information or even chat with you can chat with advisors, that kind of thing. And if you have any questions about Lone Star College specific policies, they're all here. The 6-drop rule, all of that kind of stuff. So again, it is too much information for one video for 1 week even. So take some time, to just kind of go through it piece by piece, and let me know if you have any questions, but also let me know if you find any errors, because there's every chance that you will come across some sort of error that I need to correct. We're a writing course, so you can help me with the peer reviewing, right? I know this is a lot to throw at you at the beginning, so just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. There are some other videos that are going to walk through the finer points of some of the information I already covered, so deep breath. It's going to be a great week. Good luck.